Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the NFL Coverage with my co-host, Mr. Coach Calvin Williams. Before we get started, this podcast is brought to you by Final Form Supplements. Here I have the multivitamins on Final Form Supplements. We got all the kinds of things now. We got pre-workout, we got recovery creams, we got shea butter, we have personal care, we have bars of soap, and we also have stuff to put on gains, ladies and gentlemen. Go to finalformsubs.com, use promo code Coach Strib, all caps, no space, get 10% off your order.
And just to show y'all that I be supporting.
Yeah. Those are the joints.
Uh-huh.
I had mine this morning.
No, man. I mean, when did you come down? About almost 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. Somewhere up, about maybe a month ago.
No bullshit. I feel a lot better with these and everything, especially for like elbows and knees and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Feel way better. I used to have that little cracking sound. I don't hear it no more. So
yeah, keep the joints lubricated.
Mm-hmm.
All righty.
Is this basically? Is this very similar to like fish oil in a way? You know, fish oil lubricates the joints, but I don't know what else it does.
So the purpose of like keeping the joints healthy, yes. How it goes about it, not so much, because the fish oil krill oil is omega fatty acid based. Those the joint gummies, they're not omegas fatty acid based. Some of them have omega fatty acids, but my particular brand, it doesn't have omegas because there's a lot of nuance in omegas because fish oil is good. But the problem I have with fish oil is before you can actually really feel a difference, it's a very slow process. It could take anywhere from like 2 to 6 months for you to actually feel the actual benefits. And that's if you take it consistently every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to remember, take them every day, but it takes a long process. With the gummy forms, the way those are based on like herbal herbs and more of like supplementation, it works a little bit faster. Yes, you should take it every day, but if you miss a day, you're more likely okay. And it's just easier to take instead of swallowing those giant pills. You're chewing just gummies. Yeah, it's like candy if you're into that kind of stuff. So yeah, but for purposes of joint health, yes, but omegas also have brain benefits and stuff. But for the joints, it's the same idea.
Gotcha.
All righty. Let's get straight into it. You guys know how the deal. We're going to go over the standings. East West, we're going to go over some leaders and points, rebounds, assists, etc. And then Calvin's going to kick us off with NBA news, highlights, and lowlights. All right. So starting with the West, we have the Denver Nuggets. Wait. Hang on. I got to make sure this is right. Oh, sorry. I was looking at the wrong year. I was about to say that was last year. Anyway. We'll start with the East. Look at number one. We have the Boston Celtics have moved to number one in the Eastern Conference. Bucks are sitting there at second, 3 games behind. 76ers at 3, Cavaliers at 4, Knicks at 5, Heat at 6. Middle of the pack, we got Pacers at 7, Orlando at 8, Bulls at 9, and Atlanta Hawks at 10. Bottom of the conference, we have Nets at 11, Raptors at 12, Hornets at 15, Wizards at 14, Pistons at 16. We're going to slide to the West. No surprise there. We have Minnesota Timberwolves still holding strong at the number 1 spot. OKC still hanging in there, the number 2 spot. They're a game behind. They were tied, I believe, last year when we talked. But if it wasn't last week when we talked, if it wasn't last week, they were tied earlier in between the episodes. They were tied for first with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now they move 1 game behind. Denver, game and a half behind. Timberwolves sitting at 3. Clippers at 4. Pelicans at 5. Mavs at 6. Middle of the pack, we have the Kings at 7. Suns at 8. Jazz at 9. Lakers at 10. Bottom of the West, we have Rockets at 11. Warriors at 12. Memphis at 13. Trailblazers at 14. And Spurs sitting there at 15. Real quick before we head on to the next segment, we're going to go over some of the leaders for the NBA. Points per game, we got a Joel Embiid at 35.0. Rebounds, we got Sabonis at 12.6. Assists per game, no change there. We got Tyrese Halliburton, 12.6. Steals, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander still at the top at 2.2. Blocks, no surprise there. Victor Wembanyama. And field goals is, we're not going to go with field goals. So those are our leaders for the NBA as of right now. And we're going to kick it off to Coach Williams.
So I got a few things. I don't have too much on the agenda today just because there hasn't really been that much talk, like change or anything in the NBA. But let's go into the standings and everything, man. I think the West is I'm still going to keep on what I said from last week and everything. I mean, the West just hasn't had that big of changes from what I've seen and everything. Nothing that's really going to slide somebody up. Not really something that's going to slide somebody pretty down. I like as the season goes on and everything, and then trade deadlines hit, I can see them making some big moves and not big moves, but some moves, but nothing that's like going to like shock the world or anything in the Western Conference, in my opinion, to be honest. Then we go into the East. The East is really what I want to talk about and everything, man. I think I can definitely see the Knicks getting up to that 4 spot where the Cavs are right now, just because Darius Garland's out right now. They don't have their point guard. You got to think too. The Knicks just got OG, which, like I said last podcast, I think that was a great trade and everything. He's kind of like. And like I said, with the trade and everything, I think both teams got something worked out of it. I don't think somebody got, screwed out of a trade or anything like that, as far as that. But I mean, just addition to OG to the Knicks and everything is just you needed. I think they needed that one person that is going to take the initiative to go guard the best player and everything. And I think OG definitely takes on that role and everything. And obviously, he can score too as well. What else, man? What else? I'm gonna get into this one in the next topic. I feel like the Hawks are probably gonna drop down a little bit if DeJounte Murray does get traded, because I know he's in the trade rumors right now. And I mean, he just hit like 2 back-to-back game winners and everything. I mean, the dude's just playing hella good right now. But without him on that team and everything, I think Trey's really just gonna struggle just from a guard perspective of people not focusing on him too much to now they're going to be like, okay, this is the main guy now since Murray will probably be gone. Man, that's really it. I mean, I can see the Pacers too getting up there because they just traded for a Siakam. I mean, I think that's a great addition too to their team. I don't know what was it? What Toronto got with that one and everything. I'm not too for. Hold on, that wasn't the trade. No, that wasn't the trade with OG and everything. But still, like I don't know who they traded for and everything, or what they got, draft picks and all that. So I can tap into that a little bit. But yeah, man. Have you been checking into like the trade rumors and everything?
Yeah, the biggest one is obviously DeJounte Murray, Lakers. I believe that's the biggest one I've been hearing. I'm trying to think of other ones.
Dude, they've been saying that if this happens, man, the Knicks might be making some moves. I heard the Knicks are interested in Jordan Clarkson. That's not a bad move for the Knicks. They're gonna have to give up. I feel like if that's gonna have to happen, they're gonna have to give up probably 3 draft picks and then somebody that's on the team right now. And I think they'll probably go with like Quentin Grimes or something like that. He's a solid player. He's a solid role player and everything.
Right.
But I just don't know who else they would. I just don't know, man.
Like wait, I said, it's what 2 teams is it again? I'm drawing a blank.
The Jazz and the Knicks.
Jazz and Knicks. For Jordan Clarkson.
But this is the thing. This is my thing, though. This is what's going to hurt the Jazz. If they give him up, who's going to be that spark off the bench? Because when Jordan Clarkson comes into the game, checking in and everything, I mean, like, he's on the second team and everything. He's like a 6-man, basically. Yeah. But, like, he gives them that energy, that other presence of scoring and everything coming off the bench, too, as well. So, I don't know if that's necessarily going to be a good move for them, but I think it really depends on what they get out of Jordan Clarkson. If it's depending on where the draft picks are, depending on what player they get. Yeah.
If you're Jazz, who do you want? Because I feel like with Jordan Clarkson, even though he comes off the bench, he is a phenomenal 6th man.
Yeah.
So
I feel like
I
he
feel
would
like
start on some teams, to be honest.
yeah, I mean, I think he could start on the Jazz. He's just for their system. He's just a better fit to have a guy that can drop 20 points off the bench. He for sure could start on the majority of teams out here. But if you're the Jazz and you're giving up that piece, you're giving up depth. You're giving up the ability to close gaps when your first lineup is out. Who on the Knicks are you pulling for? That's a realistic trade. That's what I'm thinking. It's like that's tough.
Let's see.
Obviously, you can't go for Brunson. That's not an option.
You're not
And
going
apparently
for
the Bucks. You said what?
say you're not going for Randall.
No, yeah, Randall and Brunson are probably the two that are off the table.
So this
So
is
it comes down to
what I can see personally. I can see them either giving up Josh Hart, Dante, whatever the hell how you pronounce his last name, Quentin Grimes. I can see Precious, and then Evan Fournier. Those are the people that I can see being in the trade and everything. Not all five of them or four of them, but like definitely, I can definitely see
like
Josh Hart going in there. I can definitely see Josh Hart.
Josh Hart and maybe a you think Josh Hart and Jordan Clarkson is like a one-on-one trade, or is it Clarkson and then you gotta get Josh Hart maybe like a draft pick?
No, you got to give at least like, in my opinion, I think there's two things. You give um, Josh Hart, and then Quentin Grimes, or you give um one of those two players, and then like maybe two or three draft picks, depending on like where the picks are and everything. Because I mean, dude, Jordan, I mean, if you really look at it too, Jordan Clarkson does a lot for that team, in my opinion, just coming off the bench and everything.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I just don't think that just giving one player from the Knicks and getting Jordan Clarkson, that's not an even trade, I feel like personally. Like I feel
Mm-hmm.
like Josh Hart's a good player, but he's not. He's. I don't think he's on the caliber of Jordan Clarkson. Like he's a good player and everything. He'll give you buckets, but I think it's just the type of player he is. Just I just don't think he can match up to Jordan Clarkson and what he's doing. Same thing with Quentin Grimes and everything. That's why I say you got to at least give two people in a draft pick or one person and like a few draft picks and everything. Um, but yeah, I can see that definitely happening for sure. There's another trade too that kind of it's kind of interesting, I would say. And I don't know. They said that the Portland Trailblazers are content with keeping Jeremy Grant, if you remember him and everything. Trailblazers really they're not a big market team, obviously. They don't get that much
Right.
publicity. They said they're content on keeping him, but I'm like, man, like we've heard that before of organizations saying like, yeah, we're gonna keep him, like we're not gonna trade him, and the next thing you know, they're on a new team. Um, and that's the thing, man. I don't know what team he would go to. I don't know what team would be viable for him and everything, because he's kind of like a point, like a small forward, power forward, kind of in the small ball kind of
Yeah.
realm and everything. I just don't
Yeah.
know what team he would. I don't know what team would need him, to be honest, off the top of my head. Um, if he does go to another team, it's not going to be a big name team or anything. They're probably going to be either middle of the pack or like a little bit down, probably in that fighting to play in tournament kind of realm and everything like that. Um, but I mean, dude, he has a pretty fat contract, 5 million, 160. Like, I wonder who's going to pick that up.
Wait, 5 years, 160?
160.
Grant?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hold on. So, yeah, man, he's bringing in like 32 million a year and everything just with his contract. So, I mean, that's a pretty good chunk of change just for the salary cap and everything, you know?
Yeah. He's gonna have to contribute like
Yeah.
big time. Start. Yeah, you need him starting level.
Yeah. I will say though, he is shooting 41% from three. Not bad for a forward. Um,
Yeah.
But also too, you got to look at he's 29. Like, is he coming up on those years of like, all right, he only got like a few more years of like good playing and everything like that. So you got to take that into accountability too. Um, yeah, man, that's really all I got so far. Obviously, as we get deeper into the season, close to the trade deadline, obviously there's going to be more people on the trade rumor and everything like that. So we'll see how that goes. You got any predictions? People that might be traded that's probably not in the media right now or anything? Anything you can think off the top of your head?
I don't know, but I'll tell you teams that might. I think there's a couple of teams that might shock us before the trade deadline in terms of like not in the media and then something's going to happen. Warriors, I think, is a team to keep our eyes on because they've
Yeah.
come out and said that everybody except Steph is up for grabs. Give us your best offer. So I think the Warriors potentially could try. I don't know what their thought process is. Obviously, if you're the organization, are you trying to save this season or are you looking forward to the future? Then that's going to determine if they're trying to get vets or if they're trying to get young guys to build for the future.
Where are they in the? Are they like
They are
11?
12th in the West. So I mean, they're
How many
only
games back are they?
from a play-in.
Yeah.
They are 2.5. Well, really, they're three. No, they're two games. Lakers and Houston are both tied, so they're 2 games behind.
See, that's the
Ninth,
thing
ninth.
that's hard is like they're not too far out. So it's like if you go all in, you gotta go all in. Like there's no half stepping basically. Like if you're
Right.
gonna go all in, go all in. Like, and if you don't want to go all in, then don't. Like don't waste your time and everything. Just try to build for next year and everything. Um, damn, that's a hard spot to be in. I didn't know it was that close. I thought
Yeah.
they were like 8 games out or something like that. If it was like that or 10 games out, double digit games, like I'll probably, if I was the GM, I'd be like, just cut it, bro. Like, and plus Draymond just came back and everything. They're trying to get that situation still kind of corrected and all that.
Right.
Just a lot of just a lot of locker room shit going on with them and everything. And then obviously they're a big market team. Obviously, if something goes wrong, like they're going to be on ESPN and everything. They're going to be talking about that shit from Monday to Friday, you know? So,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
Yeah.
man, that's tough. That's tough. I don't know. I don't know about that one. There's gonna be a lot of brainstorming between the organization, coaching staff, and obviously they probably gonna loop in Steph too as well because if he's not on the trading block, he got to have a little bit of leverage, I guess. You know, because I think the goal is to obviously to keep him and everything like that. But it's like you want to ask him like, what do you want to do? Because this is your team. Like you brought us championships here and everything like that. What do you think is the best thing? So that's my personal opinion. That's how I would go about it. I would bring Steph into it just because it's his team. Like
Yeah.
Steve Curry ain't out there dribbling the ball and shooting it. Like that's Steph. So
Yeah. So I have the Warriors. The only other team I think might be desperate and making big trades out of nowhere or like a lot of movement is the Lakers. Even though I don't think the Lakers should do anything too crazy, I think they're one piece away.
mm-hmm.
Like they're like right there. They're one piece away from
But
turning around. So
what is that piece though? Like what is that?
DeJounte Murray.
So you think they need a guard, like a two guard, a combo guard?
Yes, I think because if you look at their what is it, their front court with their bigs, Anthony Davis is top 5 in blocks. He's also he's top 5 in rebounds. He's playing well. He's staying on the court. He's staying healthy. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's just priority
That's
one.
The only thing we asked from him.
Right. He's playing games. He's staying healthy. LeBron James is absolutely just destroying it, regardless of age. I'm not even going to say for his 21st season. In general, he's all-star caliber player. And then you got Austin Reeves who can come off the bench. He's similar to the Jordan Clarkson for the Lakers, where he come off the bench, he can get you a game winner, he can shoot the three, he can get mid-range, he can finish with the cup, he can come off the bench and drop 20, 15, 20, 25 if he needs to.
He's playing like starter numbers too, though. That's the crazy thing.
Right, exactly. And then he also plays defense, so he's a good two-way guard. The only thing is, which I'm a huge D'Lo fan, but you gotta find and I'm not even saying D'Lo Obviously, if you trade for DeJounte, somebody's got to go. I think D'Lo would be a high enough caliber to complement that trade. And I saw a mock trade, because somebody was saying you get rid of AR-15. I think out of the AR-15, D'Lo AR-15, one of them is going to have to be gone, plus some draft picks. I think for the fit of the franchise, AR-15 is a better fit, and he should stay. And D'Lo, I think, would be the piece you would want to trade to have DeJounte Murray, because AR-15, and those are the little AR-15, that's Austin Reeves, and he wears number 15. AR-15, he's one of those players, he can play with anybody. His style of game isn't ball dominant, ISO ball. He can play around anybody. He can be a pass and go. He can be a move without the ball kind of guy. He can be a catch shoot. He can be a catch dribble. He can be a catch lane dish. He's a very versatile player. He can fit in almost any system. I don't think you can say the same for D'Lo, even though I think D'Lo is an astronomical talent. I'm a fan. I have a D'Lo jersey. That's how you know I'm a fan. If I got a jersey of that player, I'm a fan, right? I have a D'Lo jersey. So I'm not saying this, to like talk bad, but you need that guard. And then D'Lo also defensively has, is a little tough, but DeJounte is going to hunker down on that perimeter. If you can fix the perimeter defense on the Lakers, I think they can make a solid run and end up out of the play. So that's what I think. If you're thinking DeJounte Murray, that's why they're thinking that.
Too, LeBron's a huge fan of DeJounte Murray too as well. He's been following him since he was in college and everything. So, right. LeBron been following you since college and everything, man.
He sees something.
Whatever, huh?
He sees something.
Oh yeah, he sees
something.
I mean, and plus, bro, if you got LeBron on your side, bro, and he wants you to come play, he gonna make that shit happen one way or another.
Yeah. I'll take to go play with. I'll take a pay cut. I don't care.
Yeah,
whatever. LeBron.
And it goes back to, you got to think about it too, man. First thing, I feel like Murray is almost to that point in his career to where he's because he spent how many years with the Spurs? 4 or 5 years with the Spurs or something like that.
A good chunk.
Yeah, and then he spent 2 to 3 years with the Hawks. I mean, that's what, almost 7, 8 years in the league. I feel like once you get to that year, that longevity in your career, I feel like you already made your money. You got your endorsements and everything. Hell, your endorsements might be even more than your contracts when you put them all together. It's all right, fuck the money and everything. Let me go try to go get a ring and everything like that. Because
once they get paid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean,
yeah,
it's a bigger market team. He's playing with LeBron. Hell yeah, I'll take a pay cut to go get a ring. Come on now.
It's his seventh season.
Seventh season, yeah. So
he's been in the league 8 years, but 1 year he didn't play due to injury, but he's played 7 years.
Okay, gotcha. But no, man, I mean, I think that'd be a great addition. I mean, bro, he's a 6'6", 6'7" guard that has a wingspan of a 7-footer. You talk about a real two-way guard. He's a real two-way guard, bro. He's solid. Damn, thinking about that, the Lakers they kind of got that old. It's half the team old and half the team young. If you really look at the roster, which is kind of funny. That's actually dope though, man. But if Murray goes to the Lakers, that's definitely gonna push them. I feel like that's gonna push them up a little bit and everything in the rankings. So we'll see. We'll see what the next few weeks have to come, man.
All right, perfect. Now I have one thing before we close out, because there's some predictions that we had mentioned earlier that are starting to happen. Because we saw, remember, Orlando Magic was sitting at third in the East, and we both said that they're a very young team. They probably won't be able to hold that momentum, and they started to trickle down as the season goes on. That's exactly what's happened. They went from third; they're now down to 8th. And then I do remember we also talked about another team that we thought on paper has all the talent that might get it going here later in the season, and that's the Bulls. Because if you remember, I don't remember what episode that was, but we talked about the Bulls. They were 13th in the East. They're sitting here now at 9, so they're in play-in, so they still have playoff hopes. What do you think, if you've been paying attention, but what do you think has been the key for the Bulls to go on this run, to go from second to last to now not on the outside knocking in terms of being into the top 6 potentially for the playoffs.
Oh man, I didn't even notice that until you just brought that up and everything, man.
Because here's what let me say this. So they have 4 players averaging over 15 points a game. And they have 5
there. That's it right there. I think it's that.
And they have 5 averaging over 10. So you have DeRozan averaging 21.9, Levine's 19.5, White's 18.6, Vucevic. If I'm sorry, I'm Nikolai.
Yeah.
He's averaging 16.8, and then Williams is averaging 10. So you got a slew of guys that they're playing team ball. Everybody's contributing their parts to the win, and it's just. And then if you look at their usage, DeJounte Murray's 25%, Levine's 23%, White's 22%, Nikolai's 23%, Williams is 16%. So it's not like one guy is being used, that 30, 40%, and it kind of just it's almost
identical.
20, 25%, per person. So I think looking at that, I think they're starting to click and figure it out, because I know they went through that rough patch with Levine, and Levine was on the trade block, which I wouldn't be surprised if they still trade for Levine, because I know the Lakers were also interested they were interested in Levine, but they said they backed off Levine and pursuing Murray now that Murray's on the table. But I'm interested to see if they're like, now that they're starting to click, are they going to be okay, we might have something here and roll with it. But it's been interesting to see. The few games I've been able to watch, it's been exciting to see them play that level of team ball.
And I'm gonna go back to what you said, man. It's hard to when you're playing a team and you don't know who really that go-to guy is in late game situation and everything. Because I mean, obviously it's DeRozan in my opinion, but I mean you can have Colby, you can have Vucevic, get a bucket or something. Like, I mean, it's just they're transpiring into a team to where anybody can go off for 30 or 20 points a game. You know what I'm saying? And that can come from multiple people and everything. It's not going to come from one person. So I feel like it's just, all right, you lock on Levine and everything. Colby might go off. DeRozan might go off. So then you got to switch up your defense. Then Levine might get into the action a little bit. And you're like, oh, shit, we got a 3-headed monster right now. Who do we go after and everything like that? So I think that's the really big thing just around that. And I mean, obviously the usage and everything like that plays a key part, because if everybody's involved, man, it's tough to beat a team. I don't care what nobody says. Like, you got all 5 people locked in, moving around, swinging the ball, taking good shots and everything, hitting the open man. Like, I don't know about you, Fonnis, but when we play basketball and everything, do you know how much confidence it is, like, when you get multiple possessions of, like, an easy layup or a wide open 3 or a jump shot?
Yeah.
The team is just like, oh, shit, like, we just got 4 buckets, 6 buckets back to back. Oh, let's go. Let's run it up. It's that confidence and momentum that you get and everything, man. So, I don't know. Maybe that's what's happening with them and everything. So,
yeah, if you keep digging, it looks even better, because don't forget they got Alex Caruso, a great two-way guard. They got Andre Drummond, which is a rebounding machine, and then even their bench, Caruso uses 15%. You have, I don't know how to say this dude. Is it Ayo Dosunmu? Dosunmu's 15%.
Yeah.
And Andre Drummond is used 21%. You got Sogono is 21%, obviously like pick and roll and a lot of things in terms of usage. And then Caruso's averaging almost 10, 9.8. Drummond's is averaging 7.8 and then 8.4 rebounds off of 21 off of 16 minutes. So I mean, his just efficiency, 16 minutes, he can give you 8 and 8 or 8 and 9, and then also pick and roll, defensive presence. So I believe if he's wait, where is it at? 1.2 steals per game, Andre Drummond. So they're finding a way to get what they need out of their players, and it's just cool to see how a team can start off rough, figure it out, and they're slowly starting to they're chasing to get back in the playoff picture.
That's why I'm like, I hope Lonzo Ball comes back next season, man, because I feel like with him, like just how he plays and everything, it'll be such an easy transition for him to get back into because first thing, like he's a pass first guard, he plays defense. He's gonna give the ball up. Like he's the type of dude that rather give up a shot for his teammate than him take a shot. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that play mentality fits perfectly for the Bulls. I just wish he was healthy and could play right now because I think with him, that's just a different Bulls team and everything. That's like an answer. That's just the little the sprinkles on the top of the cake and everything, man. So yeah. Please get better, Lonzo, because I want to see you play, dog. You've been out for 2 years. So
yeah, I'm a fan for sure. But that's our time. We appreciate you guys for watching or listening. This has been another episode of the NBA Coverage. We will catch y'all next week. Ball is life.